And we're live. And good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you are. Welcome to New York. Welcome to Manhattan, and more specifically to the Ottendorfer Library, where we will find Rose, the new seneschal of New York. Um, After waking up, just rummaging through the library, watching the last people disappear, resetting the ward, basically doing everything that she always does when she just wakes up. And you know what? I'll just roll that ward for once because why not? Intelligence larceny. Difficulty 7. So that's. Okay. The ward stands for, I believe, a knight. Sorry, 3 successes there. That would be. I need to actually look that up. The ward holds on for a week. Well, not that they're. So after she sets everything and all the employees and customers have left the library, she walks around, rummaging through the books until she comes to the autobiographies of famous politicians, and she gets out one of President Nixon, because she's dealing with that right now, and she takes it out, looks at the book, grabs that one plus a few others that might be interesting to learn more about politics in the way that people need to handle them or deal with them, and she'll crawl into her favorite sitting area and just starts reading the first book.
From downstairs, there is a knock at the door.
Rose puts down the book. She stands up. She activates Obfuscate 2, walks down, and she does not know who is coming, and that puts her on edge. From time to time, she sometimes can feel that something is going to happen, and she did not get that feeling right now, which puts her even more on edge. So she activates her Mythoseria 1, her Obfuscate 2, and she, in the end, before opening the door, she throws a shadow shroud or shroud of night just behind the door, and she opens it, and just as she opens the door inwards, she just with one flick of her hand kind of removes the symbol, especially when she recognizes who is standing there.
The symbol being wiped away, the hand glimmeringly gleamed through the shadows. Elena's not looking at the door itself, but sort of looking down to one side. Rose, is that you?
Come on in.
She'll look at the door open, just a little crack. She could squeeze through, but instead she'll put her hand flat on the door and open it a bit more.
It's allowed a little further, but it's not opening more than halfway.
And Elena will throw her head back a tiny bit and a great big motherfucking owl comes and sits on her shoulder. And the reason the door needed to be opened was not because of Elena, who's quite small, but because this is a very large owl. And the two will pass through.
And as Rose sees the owl, she will immediately disperse the shrouds because she does not want to start this evening with Elena being mad at her for killing her owl.
Hands in pockets and the claws of the owl digging into Elena's shoulder to the point of actually drawing blood. You'll see and you'll smell just a bit of blood coming off that one shoulder where the owl's sitting. And the owl itself is a barred owl, so it's got, rather than having those beautiful owl eyes that are yellow and then black towards the center, the wise owl eyes, the eyes are completely black, very much like your own, Rose. And if you had gone to take care of Sakir, the feral gangrel, not so long ago, you'll recognize the owl as being one of them that Sakir used. Now sitting quite docile on Elena's shoulder, bobbing its head. And she'll step through. Good to see you, Rose.
Rose will close the door, not not very softly, but not slamming it, but clearly stating that the door is gonna be closed right now. And she locks it and turns around, just facing Elena. Well, I did not expect you, so I am ill-prepared.
Doesn't matter. I'm not here for polite conversation.
But polite conversation is what we do. Etiquette needs to be followed. That's our way.
Of course, my seneschal. Are we alone?
If we weren't, I would have been more prepared. Anyway, do you want to come up?
I would adore a warm room and a roof. Can you believe it? At the words "we're alone," Elena will actually take her sunglasses off and pop them in her pocket.
Rose will
Because she still hates wearing those.
and Rose will simply gesture for Elena to follow her as she brings them upstairs to the sitting area with the brown leather chairs and everything, and you'll see the pile of books and nothing else really. Sorry, but I'm
Reaching
very low
the
on supplies.
just look to the side. You might be able to spare a little something for your warden.
I might, if you are thirsty. Are you?
Would etiquette not denote you offering a visitor a drink?
It would, but if she's gonna reject it, I have noticed that a lot of people in New York are not raised with proper etiquettes and reject more often than they take. There is no use of me opening anything if the visitor is going to offend the host anyway by denying the drink.
Etiquette, my dear Rose. I would not be so crass as to offend my host. Attila, perch! And she'll grab the owl's feet and actually fling it off until the owl will do a single circle around the room and then land on a bookcase just above the two of them.
And Rose will just gesture to the couch and to the two chairs. Like, well, if you take a seat, then I will bring some refreshments. But you gotta give me
Most
a few
kind of you.
minutes.
Most kind of you, Seneschal. And Elena will look to one of the chairs and, in her usual habit, or new usual habit, rather, circle the chair once, like a cat circles where it's about to sit down before she actually does sit down, and then just waits.
Rose will, you'll hear her walk down the stairs again, and then hear her disappear deeper into the library. You might actually hear something kind of opening, being pushed to the side, almost like a slide door. Then you won't hear for a few minutes. You won't hear anything until Rose returns, and she'll put a bottle on the table. Not before you can hear, or not after you hear the sliding again and her walking up the stairs, of course. She'll put two glasses next to it.
Unmarked vintage. Victor's?
No, no, no.
Hmm.
I have not had the pleasure of receiving anything from Victor for quite a while.
Your glass?
Are you mocking me?
Your waitress tonight. Yes.
Oh, come on. You are not my waitress. This is my place, my domain, and I will be the one doing the pouring.
She'll hand the bottle back after pouring her own glass. I understand etiquette, but you have to understand caution.
And Rose will make sure that she pours from the bottle and immediately takes a sip from the glass, and then actually extends her hands to the glass that Elena had poured in. There might still be something in the glass. If you want to, I will taste yours as well before you can drink it safely.
I've been a fool, Rose. I've been a black-hearted fool. To you. Nice.
I hope.
I don't much like man meat. Prefer the animals. A rare vintage. Like drinking water and then being offered a wine. Don't know if I like it yet. As your warden, I've come to report. As your friend, I've come to speak. Which would you like?
Whatever you want to have done first, my warden/friend.
Your warden would like to report movement and inroads into the werewolves. I have met with what can be considered their warden. Someone who also considers themselves an alpha. I've been cornered by one of his people in an alley and fended for myself. I've met another, more jovial, more musical. A man with a harmonica heart, tall, lanky, powerful in his own right, wishes you a greeting.
Hmm.
Perhaps remnants from your time as warden.
Aaron. Interesting persona.
I don't, I don't know his name.
Well, there you
There
have
was a. Pardon me from switching to a human from your warden. There was a night I was ready to greet the sun. He stopped me.
it. A human, you say.
We still have that in our hearts. At least I like to think so. Otherwise, why am I still existing? But to business. I should like to report to you, my dear Seneschal, that they wish the filth gone off Staten as much as we do. I've given them the information that I have deemed worthy to give them, more than probably what you would like me to have given. So, I'm coming to you for instructions on how to proceed. The next meeting will be the clincher.
You've had 2 meetings so far.
3.
3. My apologies.
And not a claw mark to show for it, so I think I'm doing alright.
You are. First of all, the order to not give away any information comes from the prince. My advice would be, we give some, but we give less than we take. As long as our information exchange is still valuable. There's a difference between giving information and giving them really useful information. And that the difference needs to be judged.
We are the ones coming to them for assistance, Rose. We are the ones that need to lay on our bellies and have them scratched. We are the ones that are extending the olive branch at this point.
Well, that is correct.
If we weren't, Rose, don't give me this high and mighty kindred shit. If we weren't, then those filth would have been exterminated the first time they took him. But they weren't. We are going to them on the back foot. We are going to them begging. But I am not begging because I want to make us look strong. Trust me on that. I believe in what the Camarilla is. I do.
And that is exactly what I want you to do. Look, the prince once again prefers that we show that we are not a group to be messed with, and that we can stand our ground. But the truth is that individually we are less strong than any of those.
That is no secret. They know it. I know it. I, a
Exactly.
fledgling, know it.
Exactly.
That is not a secret.
So, yes, you are right. We want good relationships. Why? Because we need to survive in the city. How do we get good relationships? By us reaching out to them. We find out what they want and we see how we can help them. In the same time, we see how they can help us. And the
Can
art
I give you
is to
some
make it
advice?
look.
Please go on, Seneschal.
No, no, you go on.
He contacted me the first time I met my new contact. His name is Blitzkrieg. He's a pretty awesome dude, actually. After that first contact, you said that the prince wants prisoners, people to interrogate. I've passed that on. They're willing to work with us, but they wanted confirmation that those prisoners would be executed. Perhaps I'm too big for my boots, but I offered them the rights to those executions. The ones that hunt should be the ones that make the kill. They will be handed over to us for interrogation, but then they'll be handed back for execution. Does that work with you?
I see the sense in that, especially from their point of view, and from your point as well.
Exactly.
But there may be. For my part, I do agree. However, if there are any of those prisoners who happened to be Camarilla who crossed the line towards the Sabbats, then I am pretty sure that even though we made disagreements, our elders will not abide by simply handing them back to the wolves.
We're
So
on the back foot, Rose.
I do agree,
We're
Elena.
making we're making negotiations from thin air.
Well, that just means that we need to find something that they desire more.
I can tell you what they desire, at least what Blitzkrieg tells me he wants. The island itself, a sacred place to them, something that they want. More territory, more turf. What cost is it to us? We have influences. What is dirt and earth to us?
I don't think that we would need necessarily the islands. Maybe we can arrange some free passing area should that be needed, or
I'm glad you agree because I've already offered it to them.
you're doing well so far, Elena. Probably better than I could have done, I'll give you that.
I don't want your compliments. I want your instruction. What do you want me to sell to them? And I'll sell it.
I was not giving you any compliments, Elena. What I need you to realize is that there are two sides that we need to sell things on. There will always be two sides that the warden will need to play.
Only two? And I thought this was going to be more complicated.
Well, if you are so sure of yourself, who am I to get into your
I'm
way?
not. I'm not sure of myself. You know, when you first offered me this, me and Dales, we didn't really offer it. A seneschal doesn't offer. A seneschal tells. When you first told me of your decision, of the prince's decision, you know what I heard? Be the messenger. They'd die quickly. That's what I heard. And if that's truly the case, Rose, then I hope to disappoint you for a very long time.
Is that really what you think of me, Elena? And I want a simple yes or no right now. Is that really what you see when you look at me? Someone who just sends her friend off to her death. Even because of a disagreement, maybe.
Yes,
Then I will
but
want you to leave the library right now.
you'll start crying. My serial one.
Fuck, it's still on. And she'll just look at Elena and just let the tear just fall over her very white cheek.
At that point, Elena's gripping the wine glass, and the wine glass will actually shatter in her hand. I'm sorry, Rose. I should know better.
I think we will delay this warden thing. Because we won't get any further with this before something else is solved first.
You're right. You're right. Elena picks at the pieces of glass out of her palm, and then licks the wound closed, and then it heals.
Rose will simply hand her glass over to Elena. Here.
Thank you. I know that the grace that was extended to you by my elder once upon a time was the title of friend to the clan. It's not for me to revoke that. I'm too young. It's a title you still hold.
Elena,
Yes.
I have not held that title ever since your sire gave up his trust. Ever since we felt the loss of...
Don't say it. It's in the past.
Yes, but it's still haunting us up until this very day.
And so we ended. We ended between me and you. I can't speak for my clan, Rose. I don't think you can speak for yours. We ended between us. I'm not saying that we're best buddies. I'm not saying that we jump into bed once the curtain fades to black. I'm not saying that we shoot each other on the street either. Elena will actually extend a hand, but she's popped claws, and it's a gesture, and if Rose can read the gesture, she's doing well. She'll extend a hand and say, "Let's wipe it clean. Let's wipe the slate clean. We start again. No friends, no enemies, just what we are now."
Rose will also... She will take the hands, but she'll let the shadows, and she'll spend a blood point for the shadow play, of course. Just kind of twist and twirl around the hand that she extends and around Elena's claws as well.
I'm glad you understand. Elena will actually not shake your hand, but grasp your wrist like that, like the warrior's
Yeah.
handshake, as it were, and just let you feel those claws as she feels the cold of that tenebration against her hand. And then just pat your hand and let go. So we start again, Rose.
It was never needed.
It was for me.
That is enough. Then it was needed.
You carry enough guilt. You did need it. You may not understand it.
The guilt is not towards you.
No, it's towards the clan. I understand that. I'm the only one of my clan left in the city that you can speak to like an adult.
You have a very interesting clanmate, and I'm sure that she will grow.
I hope so too.
We all need our own time.
Sorry, I wrecked your glass. Looked like
It's
lead crystal. Sorry about that. And yeah, rug and stuff.
a glass. It's a rug. It can be replaced.
What do you hope? What do you hope? What is it you want?
That is not really relevant with the situation that we are in right now.
That's my answer. Then let me put it more specifically to you. What shall I offer the wolves? And let me
Hmm.
continue on the deals that I've made, because I think they're relevant. They will hand over
Yes.
prisoners for interrogation. They will be the avant-garde. They will have Staten when it's done, only when it's done. They want assurances. They want somebody, some people, some of us, to be with them when this goes down. I personally think this is a terrible idea.
As why? But that is not the case.
Which is why I'm going to
Ah,
offer myself as the hostage to Blitzkrieg as soon as I see him again.
no,
Yes,
no,
why not?
because you are a warden. You are the
Then I
only
won't.
one who has legal right within our sect to communicate with them and between them and the prince.
That is
You
exactly
are the
why I
one
should be
who
the
is
one.
capable of making offers, but who's also capable of bringing those odds back. That cannot happen while you are a hostage.
It won't be long, Rose. It will not be long.
No, we will not
Are you
have any
saying that as
hostages.
my seneschal or as my friend?
Both. It's not often that those two are let's say of the same minds.
Mark the calendar then. It has to be me, Rose. It has to be me.
Oh, does it now?
Yes, it does. You are too valuable here. I've seen you fight.
So I can take down a werewolf.
Which is why I need you not to be the hostage in case this deal goes sour.
I don't need to be the hostage. They want people with
Exactly.
them when they fight. They are
They
not
want people
asking
of worth.
for a hostage.
They are idiots if they think this is going to go down well at night.
If they
It's
think,
not.
if they think this is going to go down well and the deal turns sour, I have the best chance to escape.
No. I have to think not about me. I have to think about the Camarilla and I have to think about my clan.
Elena, for your
Yes.
clan and for the Camarilla, you are too valuable an asset to lose. Why? Very simple. You have brains and you know how to fucking use them.
Then I'm not in danger. I've weighed the odds, Rose. I'm not. I'm a child by your terms. By the terms of the Camarilla. I'm a fledgling. I'm worse than that.
And I have seen Ancilla act with less dignity, with less intelligence, and with less pride for their sect or their clan than you.
Then believe me when I say I have weighed the odds. And I have made the calculations and I have weighed the risks. Please, let me offer it. If they throw it back, then you don't need to be worried. Then I'll offer you. Deal? I need to show the Camarilla that Clan Gangrel are willing to die for their beliefs. It's stupid. It is stupid, I know. But it is the quickest way. I don't have 300 years. I don't have 400 years. I don't. I have now. And I have Fern. And I have the people on the outskirts of this city
And
that are
Fern
watching and
is going
waiting and
to
wanting
live.
to come in.
Fern is going to live if anything
She
happens to
will.
you. If
She
anything happens
will.
to you, Who's gonna train her?
The wilds will train her, as they've trained all of us. She is older than me, Rose. She is older than me.
Everybody needs their own time. Who would train her? You know full well that especially if you want to keep her here in New York, that the wilds alone are not sufficient enough, that it will not let her live. Because New York is a jungle all of its own. And you know that. And you understand that. And you work with it and you fight it. And you are stronger. You defeat the wild that is New York. And you defeat the wild that is outside.
I want to believe that she'll be fine. Just let me believe that.
Elena, if anything would happen to you, there are enough people that can teach her of New York. But there's no one, not even the wild, that can teach her how to be Gangrel. And that's what she will miss. She will become a token Gangrel in nothing but in name, a member of your clan.
Are any of us anything else?
I understand why you want to give yourself up as hostage, and I see the logic behind it. But I also see everything that could go wrong with it. And I don't care for it very much. I think we can resolve this deal without use of a hostage. They
The only
wanted
other
some of
way
us.
that it could be, the only other way that it will resolve itself then is that we offer troops.
Well,
That we offer people to go in at the same time.
we can place a gesture out there. We can ask for anyone who is willing to go there. I don't mind. I have faced the Sabbat before with just one other werewolf.
It's a foolish plan though, Rose. It is an absolutely idiotic plan.
I
They
think
have
so
the
as
ability to go out of a day. They have the ability to go out of a day. The
well.
raid should be a daytime one.
Yes.
We cannot be there for sheer logic of what we are, which is why the hostage makes perfect sense.
Yes, but that was your idea. So that means that we
What
can.
is your idea?
What do they want besides grounds? Why do they want us there?
Because they hope for nights where we're not shooting at each other, verbally, physically, or with influences. They're quite peaceful from what I can understand, in touch with the
Okay.
planet in a way that we can't be.
So they want the insurance that we
They
don't
want the
stab them in the
insurance.
back.
Exactly.
Well, I guess them being what they are, they would not agree with a simple contract signed by the prince, now would they?
Rose, I respect you, and
I'm asking for your professional advice as a warden, Elena.
don't be a dickhead. Of course they won't. You knew that answer before the words even left your mouth. You
Hmm.
know it, I know it. Don't insult both of us by musing on such filth.
So we want to give them something that is valuable enough to give them the guarantee that we indeed do not have any plans of backstabbing them. We want to make sure that our most valuable assets are protected against backstabbing from their part.
You're not giving them Fern.
Who would even suggest such a thing?
You're not touching her.
Elena, seriously.
I would walk through sunlight for that girl, because she's all I have left.
I
And
just...
there, now you know something to blackmail me with.
You think I need that?
10 minutes ago, I would have hoped not. But that's the thing about new starts. You can make enemies new, or you can make friends new. Enough about us. What do we offer the werewolves? My seneschal. What do we offer them?
Well, the idea of a hostage is not necessarily a bad idea. It's just that who would be less of a loss, but still make the right impacts. I'm thinking, you are not the only one. Same title.
No. No. I can't trust him.
Oh,
You
but
can't trust him. No. Listen to me, Rose. Listen to me. Please. Just listen to me. You know the conversation that we had, the first conversation that we three had, you,
mm-hmm,
me, and Alex.
mm-hmm.
He is far too eager to give up the secrets of the Camarilla and of our kind. He knows more than I do. He does. Don't give them that. They don't know that.
He doesn't need to be awake now, does he?
I see what you're saying and I don't like it.
Neither do I.
Rose, I'm going to be honest with you. I have a vendetta against those creatures, and I will do whatever I can to see them smited. Take this away from me, and you're taking away something that will make me whole. Let me be that hostage.
How important is this to you, Elena? Is it worth giving up the potential presence of your clan in New York? Because that's what you're waging against us. Is it worth it?
No, it isn't. You're right. You're right, Rose.
It's an interesting puzzle, though. It's a riddle that needs a solution. There is a perfect solution, we just need to find it. So, you want your revenge. You want to give it revenge. But we want to do it without endangering you any further than necessary. We want to give them an assurance.
I have no answer. Riddles are your forte.
Yes, but usually I'm the one making them up. When will you be meeting this contact of yours, this warden?
As soon as humanly possible. Or werewolfly possible.
Okay, I will think
If
about
you,
this a little bit more. Do you have any other things that need to be discussed?
not at this time. Nothing that concerns you. Doesn't concern the Camarilla. By the way, this is Attila. Elena will gesture to the bookcase, and the owl will spread its wings and go screech, screech, as owls do. Rose, I'm serious when I said that we start again. Doesn't mean I trust you, though. Not just yet. I miss having a coterie.
Yeah, me too. I never expected that. I always preferred the solitude.
Me too. Me too.
Would it help you,
I
Elena,
suppose.
if I step back?
After what we've been through, and the fact that we're actually sitting opposite each other civilly, sharing a glass, having both agreed to start it again.
You form a
Why would
coterie with those who you
why would I
trust.
waste the effort? Why would I waste the effort on crawling through hot coals to extend a measure of trust to somebody who I didn't want to be around? Why
I'm
would I
giving
spend
you
the
the
effort?
option, Elena. I see.
And I'm saying look around you, Rose. I'm saying look at the deeds. I want this to work.
You know, I don't know if that will be
Say
possible.
it.
No,
Say it.
no, it's not good enough. Sorry, new plan.
Even a plan that's not good enough, Rose, once spoken is given potential. There's such a thing as brainstorming,
I
after
was
all.
more thinking that instead of giving them a hostage, we might give them a location.
Repeat the Red Alicia? Never.
Wouldn't go as far as to give them a location of Elysium.
Because we don't have any. That's another part of the problem.
Well, that makes it
I
very
met a
easy.
fellow called I met a fellow called Braddock the other night. We spoke of it,
Hmm,
the fact that there's no places to meet or socialize. And it's something that we have to keep in careful mind also, Rose. If everything goes according to plan, but yet they call our bluff and find us liars, that is when the real danger hits. We have to think about what it is that we intend to offer, what it is that we're willing to sacrifice. This is a game of chess, Rose, not poker. There's no bluffing. We can't bluff. It's a matter of what are we willing to sacrifice if shit does go sour.
I can't ever bluff.
No one can in your presence.
That's why poker is no fun.
I can smell a lie. Sometimes. I don't have long to give them their answer. I really don't.
Riddles. They give it. They care a lot about the right picking order. So we have a prince, a seneschal, wardens, primogens, hounds, sheriff.
Please don't involve Limey. It's not that I don't trust him, it's not that I don't believe in him. His blood, his curse, makes him easily agitated.
That's true.
It will be the death of him if he so much as loses his shit once in their presence. And he's been there for me. I trust him. You trust him. As a clanmate.
He's my brother. In a sense.
Don't offer him. Don't offer him. He can't handle it.
It's really interesting how you immediately assume that I'm just going to throw everyone on the table that I trust or like.
Autocratic rule.
I'm not an autocrat. I'm not even a seneschal, and you know it.
And I'm not really a warden. And you know it. But that doesn't change the fact of where we are. And sometimes we have to wear boots bigger than our feet.
Elena, you've proven to be a fine warden. You've been able to make decisions. Even though
I've had a
you're
week.
unexperienced.
But as you say, it's a fine decision. I know what I would do with the werewolves. I know what I would offer them. I know what information I would give them. But it's not about me, it's about the Camarilla. And more than that, it's the place of the clan Gangrel in the Camarilla. It may be an uneasy truce, and feel free to see it like that. Feel free to see it like that. I want to be in the wilds most nights. But I also know that when I'm in the wilds, I want to come into the city sometime. That's the freedom that I want to keep open. And if I have to give my life for that so that others of my clan have that freedom, then it's an easy sacrifice. Enough about me.
Not all riddles have an answer. I will trust your judgment on this. And if you feel that you can only hand over yourself, but I will promise you this. If anything happens, the werewolves will make more than one victim. Because I will not allow the Camarilla to stand by idly if anything happens to their warden.
You know that I'm only warden by title, and a very loose title that is.
At that point, Rose just kind of bend forward and just bring her face very close to Elena. Elena, what did I just tell you?
I'll be sure to do my best not to have two victims on the chopping block.
I trust your judgment. You are not warden by anything but name. You are warden. You've made the right decisions so far. You have been in 3 conversations with werewolves and you've come out unharmed. I have not seen any of them in my library. I've not heard of any werewolf being anywhere near any of us, which means that in those 3 meetings you have given away the right information. that does not get us harmed.
And Elena will actually take a hand and pop it on just Rose's knee and then just follow up and grab her hand. And the two will sit very close and very intimate for a moment. And I need you to know that you can trust me. As you do, Rose, I will die before I give up secrets that will take down the Camarilla. Believe me. That is why I need to go. That is why I need to be their hostage. That is why I need to offer myself. What I want from you, should the worst happen, is that you look after Fern.
I will take care of her, as
I
I made the
understand
same
that there is
promise to your
still...
sire.
Oh, that just shuts Elena up for a second. Look after Fern, please. Victor is teaching her, that is good. He's going to be invaluable to her in the ways of dealing with kindred of his way. She knows about the wilds. What she doesn't know is there's a time to be kind, and there's a time to be strong. Teach her that, please, because I know, I can see in you that you know that riddle, and you can teach it.
I will assume that nothing will happen to you, Elena. I am not quite sure how far I can teach her, but I will teach her what I know.
Just remember that she's free. Remind her that she's free always. And Elena will take the hand off of your hand, just pop it back in her pocket. I think we've outstayed our welcome, Matilda. Al comes back to her shoulder. I'm glad we had this talk.
I will tell the prince that I have made you a warden in every aspect of the job.
I'll report to him myself if you want. I'm not scared of him.
I know you're not.
Prince DeWitt, a man who has respect and fear. A man who has yet to have the love of his people. That's another riddle. You ever read Machiavelli?
I did. I never really enjoyed it.
It's not meant to be enjoyed. It's a handbook to power.
Power comes in many forms.
Indeed.
This is
And
not.
that's the riddle.
This is
Oh,
not
it
the
is?
form that I ever thought that. Never mind. Be safe, Elena.
The rulers that we have, Rose, we can either fear them, respect them, or love them. The wisest of rulers are all three, in equal portions. The power that they give unto us, the status that they give unto us, we have a choice to be feared, loved, or respected on their behalf. We are an extension of what that ruler is, always. And the best of us can leave behind the things that we personally covet and hold sacred. And then there's some of us that simply are too human. And with that, Elena will actually turn and walk out the door with her owl.
The door will stay open for a little bit, as there's actually nothing standing in the door, at least not for as far as anyone can see. And as Rose watches the figure of Elena walk away, she just worries.